Good morning, everyone. How is everybody feeling? Good? Excited? Welcome to the county. I am Lokesh Sisodia. I am the County Information Security Officer. In this particular session, we are going to talk about information security, what it is, what we need to follow, what we need to avoid, those kind of things in information security space. So with that, let's go to the next slide. So this is the foundation of information security. The information security revolves around these three pillars. The first pillar is confidentiality, where we talk about assuring that information will not be disclosed to unauthorized individuals, and that is really important. If the information is confidential, it should not be released or accessed by unauthorized individuals. And each department have some or the other form of confidentiality document, whether they are in information security world, physical world. Some of the examples are listed over here. What we need to do, we need to make sure that we apply proper controls so that that information is appropriately safeguarded uh, against any malicious attempts or unauthorized individuals. The second pillar is integrity. Integrity is about assuring that information has not been altered or modified or deleted in an unauthorized manner. Only authorized individuals are allowed to alter, otherwise integrity of the information is compromised. So we need to make sure that integrity of information is always there. The third pillar is availability. The availability is about assurance that system and information are accessed and usable by those who need them. Means like only authorized individuals. We need to make sure that we follow these three pillars like in each and every department. Now, what kind of threats we have in cyber world, virtual world? So some of the examples are listed over here, and we see like social engineering attacks, identity theft, phishing, wireless attacks. So we need to be like really careful of all these kind of attacks. I'm sure you must have seen some of these attacks in your personal life or previous work. And what can be the impact of these attacks? So these personal information can be lost, and that is a very big threat, and that is also known as identity theft. And if information is lost because of a willful action by an employee, then disciplinary action can be taken. The county reputation and credibility could be damaged, and it could lead to bad publicity, etc. So these are the things which we need to avoid at all costs. There could be loss of trust, that's another example, but giving out private information could be very costly. There can be legal action, and we all are county employees. It's our joint responsibility that we need to avoid any of these malicious actions. And in virtual world, like how our adversaries, they impact via delivering a malware. Most of the time they deliver it via phishing email, or maybe like we are visiting a website which is not good. So then we need to be careful while taking any action. Please do not visit to any websites which is not related to work, where we don't have any business reasons, because if we visit, we don't know. That website may already be having some malware and those kind of things, and because of our actions, those malwares can be creating something on our system, and that something can be command and control, where that command and control can be used to exfiltrate data from our system, our network. So my request to all of you is please be careful. So now a little bit dig on the social engineering. The social engineering is a term indicating the method in which people are manipulated rather than machine to gather information to bypass or breach the security system of an enterprise. To me, this is one of the biggest threat, if not the biggest threat. Please do not take the bait. Be careful when you open an email, or even when you are entering in the county office. If somebody is trying to follow you closely, please ask for their badge and that kind of information, because sometimes people, they follow you, they may not be authorized into a restricted section, but because they are following you, we all are good humans, we let them in. Please avoid those kind of scenarios. And when you open any email from outsider, please be careful. Do not use your office assets, including official email, for personal purposes, and be careful even in personal front, because these adversaries, they are trying to impact us not only in our professional life but personal life as well. And how to safeguard against social engineering? The biggest threat, or one of the biggest threat, do not allow yourself to be pressured or hurried by someone. We have the one example is, you will see an email that something has happened, you need to reply right away. Please take a step back, think about the situation, and then reach out to the resources which you already have. Let's say in that email, if there's a phone number or an email address which is listed, that you need to reach out to this number immediately. Do not do that. Reach out to the information which you already have, or like if you are not sure, reach out to your supervisor. And always follow security procedure. Please do not take shortcut. Escort visitor at all time while in your work area. Do not respond to email or phone call asking you to update information for their record, or update information immediately, or they may say your password is compromised. So there's an infinite list. All of these our adversaries, they are evolving. So they are coming out with new means, new ways. And you may receive an email for survey or questionnaire. Please do not blindly go and take those surveys, etc. Ask your supervisor whether it is acceptable, whether this was needed for business reasons. And if somebody asks, provide list of employees or telephone numbers. Please do not provide that kind of information to those adversaries. Take their information, reach out to your supervisor, confirm the business use case, and then your supervisor will help you provide that information to proper channels. I wish, like everywhere, we use multi-factor authentication, but because of various reasons, it's not possible. And we are using password. The password is something I'm hoping that all of us, we know. We have used password in one way or the form in our schools, in our college, or even in last professional life and those kind of things. The password are something which help protect like unauthorized access. And password is something which we use along with our user ID. The user ID in most cases in the county, you will find either your email address or without @SJGov or whatever domain you have. Without that information, the first portion is going to be your user ID in 90 or 95% or 99% of the cases. And as per county policy, we have to change our password at least every 90 days. And those passwords should be changed like on all the assets. On your Windows, like if you use a desktop, workstations, laptops, you will get a prompt that your password is expiring and you have to change it. and please do change that password on Windows. And if you use similar password on any other county asset, please change it every 90 days. That's county policy. And if you believe that your password is known to somebody else, please change it immediately, because you don't want somebody to impersonate as you and do something which will have adverse effect on county, on you. And always choose hard to guess password. Please do not use password as QWERTY.1 or welcome or password.1 or password1. Please do not use. Wherever possible, use hard to guess password. They can be passphrase, etc., etc. And once whatever business case like you are working on, whatever work related thing you are doing, once that thing is done, please log off after each use. Never leave an active session unattended. Even your laptop, once you are done with your laptop, log off from your laptop. If you are taking a break, please make sure you hit Control-Alt-Delete, so that only you can log in with a password which is only known to you. Please do not leave an active session. Wherever possible, enable two-factor authentication, and we will talk about two-factor authentication. Do not use the same password for multiple accounts. Dictionary passwords are really, really bad. The dictionary password is something which is available in dictionary. Our adversaries, they usually try to break in via using automated mean, and then that automated means runs through all the permutation combinations which are possible in dictionary. Do not use those kind of password. And please use long password and use passphrases. The passphrases is one thing which I feel like they are really, really good, and those passphrases are personal, and you can use those personal passphrases. Let's say anything which you will think about, not everybody else will think about. To use those kind of passphrases with alphanumeric character embedded in it and spatial symbols you can add. So then like it's going to be really, really tough for anybody else to figure out. We already talked about this. Always avoid your name as password, nickname, initial, children names, or anything which can be found on internet or even on social media websites, because sometimes you may create an account and that account is a public account, and that account will have like a lot of information. People, adversaries, they can become a friend on your social media account, and they can get information from that social media account, and then they can try those combinations to break in as you. Please do not use those kind of password. Always avoid, in fact, like dates, and dates, those appears on your driving license or any other information which you carry. Please avoid it. License number is wide open, anybody can see it. Do not use those license numbers. We already talked about QWERTY or QWERTY.1. Those are consecutive keys. So consecutive keys is another mean along with dictionary attacks. So consecutive keys is another thing which our adversaries, they use via automated means, social security number, etc. We have to avoid like all of these things. So now let's jump into multi-factor authentication. So what is multi-factor authentication? So there are three types of authentication mechanism we have. The first mechanism is something you know, and an example of something you know is password. The password is something you know. Next pillar is something you have. The something you have can be a hardware-based token, a smartphone, SMS call, voice message, or a token generator like we have RSA, Secure ID, or YubiKey, those kind of things. So they will fall into the second category, which is something you have. Now let's go to the third category. Third category is something you are. So that's like biometric. That can be a fingerprint, your eye scan, and those kind of things. So what multi-factor authentication means, out of these three things, something you know, something you have, something you are, if you use any two together for authentication, that process is called as multi-factor authentication, and chances of compromising an account goes drastically low. It's very hard for our adversaries. They may guess your password, but even if they guess your password, but if you are using something you have or something you are, they cannot log in because they don't have access to that second factor. So that's why multi-factor is so important. So now let's switch gear, let's talk about software. The installing software, including the download of any software from the internet, can only be done with the approval of your department. Please do not download and install anything on your own. If you need something, reach out to your supervisor and then they will help you get an approved licensed copy of the software installed on your system. Without your manager's supervisor approval, please do not install it and do not copy it. Unauthorized copying of software is a violation of US copyright law. We don't want to get into that situation. Therefore, whenever you need anything for your work-related activities, reach out to your supervisor. They will help you. Information security incident. A security incident, threat, or breach is a situation where the safety of a physical environment or virtual environment or its contents is endangered. The information security problems or suspected problems should be reported immediately to your supervisor. As soon as you believe that there is an information security incident, so let's say a phish email came to you and you don't know the sender, so please reach out to your supervisor or report those kind of emails or suspected problem to ISD service desk. I repeat, ISD service desk. Employees are the county's most valuable asset. The security and safety of all employees is important. So please familiarize yourself with all the safety, security, emergency procedures, programs we have in the county. We can have thousands of technologies, we can have thousands of processes, but the most important piece is our employees. Our employees, they are the most valuable asset, and we expect like all of them to be knowledgeable, following the processes, etc. And the technology, they should be using the technology which are authorized and provided to them via county. And in case of any question, as always, please reach out to your supervisor. And the most important rule when using county computing and information resources, a good general rule to follow is, if it isn't county business, do not go there. Do not use any county asset for non-county purposes. With this, if you have any question, you can reach out to me via this email, lsisodia@sjgov.org, or you can open a work order with ISD service desk. ISD and security team is looking forward to working with all of you to make our county more secure and more better. So thank you everyone. Wish you all a long, rewarding career at county, and everybody have a nice day guys. Take care. Bye-bye.